What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode. I know it's been a little bit since I put up a video, but you know, life happens. Anyways, I'm on the road that comes from Oatman. So I already went through Oatman and now I'm going on this road. It's a pretty long, like, curvy road, and I was gonna film on this road before, but I just never did. But anyways, it's like a super long, curvy road that goes all the way down to like the highway to like Topak and all that. And this road is known to be having all these jackasses right here. This road leads all the way down to like Topak, Arizona. Right over there in front of me, that's where Bullhead City is. This is like a nice kind of quiet road. Farther down the road, they've got some, like, I mean, obviously you can see right here, there are some trails where you can take your side-by-side or quad or dirt bikes or whatever. But farther down, it's like really, so it's just really like a dune, kind of like dirt kind of area where that's all people ride, is just right over there. So eventually when I get me a side-by-side and whatnot, I want to go over here and just cruise around that. That road leads to Bullhead. But this is the road that just goes all the way down. It's flat road all the way down. This is the part I love about Arizona, especially the area that I live in, is that you have, I just love not living in like the big city anymore. I mean, I guess I can't really say the town I lived in Washington was a big city, but it was definitely a lot bigger than these towns. But living back here, you know, where it's these quiet open roads, is kind of my favorite. Like, one of my favorite things to do is just go riding, just because, you know, you don't really have traffic, and you can pretty much just cruise pretty quick going down these roads. The only downfall is just you got to be careful around these corners, because sometimes there is a bunch of gravel. The last video I did was going through that mountain loop over in Kingman. That one was pretty fun, where I was able to stay like consistently going like 60 to 70. And over here, I think the last time I went down this road, I was going like 80, 90, somewhere around there. But there are some areas on this road that get kind of sketchy, but it's fine. Not to mention you have like the really nice views up here. Like, how can you not like this view? It's so much better than like a whole bunch of city buildings and skyscrapers and just fucking traffic and man, living over here is just been such a different kind of lifestyle. I mean, yeah, they're smaller towns, but I mean, I live in the desert, but this is, I don't like living in the big city. I don't like living in the middle of nowhere, so I like living right in the middle, where I'm like kind of close to the city, but live on the outskirts. Like, if I were to, for example, I wouldn't live in Vegas. Vegas is just too much of a big city for me. But like, say like Boulder City, that's on the way outskirts of town, and it's a way smaller area, right, where you don't have nowhere near as much traffic and just people in general. But you're still kind of close to town, where it's not going to take you an hour to get into town or whatever, you know. But how could you not like this big open area? Like, never having this in Washington, you know, like living in town, like you don't have this kind of area in Washington unless you live like, I don't know, maybe somewhere over by Spokane or something, or just live, I don't even really know, but having this much open area just to go and ride like quads and dirt bikes and whatnot, and just like side-by-sides are such a big thing down here that you have no idea. And so it makes me really want to get one. You know, I like my bike, but after riding a coworker's side-by-side and driving it like through the trails and stuff like that, be careful. It just really makes me just want to get one. I don't know if like this is like a little campsite. It might be a little campsite. I don't know. They have them all throughout the little road over here, but see, like, how can you not like this? I wonder if that's a little morning Jim Nelson. But just be able to cruise, you know, just a side road where it doesn't get a whole bunch of traffic and there's no cops out here. And I mean, granted, if I fucking get hurt, then I'm kind of fucked, but it's very peaceful out here, you know. And when you get older, you kind of get out of that like reckless fucking wild side, and you know, you start calming down, settling down. I mean, I was never really a wild child in my younger days. I was still a more quiet kid, shy kid, but you know, I can appreciate a nice quiet area. I'm the kind of person that likes to be left to myself. So it's relaxing, it's calming, kind of being out here, especially like on a bike, or just being able to take like a side-by-side and just fucking rip around these trails and shit, or a quad, you know. Like, I really want to get a quad for sure, but just going fast and having fun, that makes me happy. I think it was last year. Yeah, last year when I was working at the dealership, we got a really bad snowstorm, which only really lasted for like not even like 2 days. The snow was pretty much gone after the first day, but this is the road that I went down trying to get over the mountain pass back over into Kingman. And this road goes all the way down to Topak, down to the I-40. But then of course they ended up closing down the I-40, and I had to come all the way back this way. It was like a 3-hour adventure of trying to get home that day, and it wasn't very fun. I mean, I was in my Subaru, which it wasn't such a big deal, but it was kind of a hassle. That's the only downfalls of living and working over here, especially next to like a mountain pass. But I am soon going to be moving back over here to Bullhead, and I'm just looking forward to being able to ride these over here, ride these roads more, and there's just more roads over here in general, more areas to cruise around than it is over in Kingman. Like, I feel like Kingman is it's such a small town that you really can just like get to one side, go from one side to the other side of town in literally like probably 10 minutes, and it's really not even that big of a town. And it's kind of a drag because I like being able to cruise around a whole bunch of areas, especially, you know, when I lived in Washington, where I lived, I would always, majority of the time, ride down to Seattle. And Seattle is such a big city that there's just so much areas to ride around. And so even just the adventure of going from Everett all the way down to Seattle was just always like an interesting trip, you know, because you can be going down, say, like Aurora, And you see all the hookers, you know, all my past hooker videos I did. But there's just so many different ways just to get down to Seattle, and that's the fun part, because it's always just like some adventure, especially when you're on a bike. You know, it's more fun when you get to ride with people. And unfortunately out here, I haven't really met a whole bunch of people, actually, well, really met any people that actually ride motorcycles. Because, you know, the demographic is mostly older people, and I do see, like, you know, people my age riding motorcycles around and whatnot, but, you know, people I'm not friends with or whatever. And so I'm hoping at some point I can, you know, find a group of riders that aren't fucking crazy and trying to stunt everything or do wheelies or whatever and go 100 miles an hour down the road every day. And like, being a hooligan is just, it's fun for a little bit, but not the entire time. You know, I'm not trying to like draw attention to myself from the cops, so I like to stay under the radar. But see what I mean? Like, along empty road, unlike back in Washington, where all my videos where I was always stuck behind some fucking car, or even the road to Oatman, when I'm trying to do that nice curvy road, and there's just always, I always end up behind a car, and it just kind of ruins the videos. So having roads like this, it's a lot funner, and like, you got the scenery, you know, there's just one thing I love about Arizona. It's always nice over here. Like, so far being here for almost 2 years now, which it still doesn't even feel like I've been here for 2 years. But 90% of the year, it's fucking blue skies and sunny weather. And that's what I love, because over here, I can ride my bike almost the entire time, or almost the whole year, if I really wanted to. Even though I don't, you know, I ride my bike probably, I'd say, like 3/4 of the year. You know, because in the technically winter time, it does get, when you're over here and you're dealing with 120-degree weather in the summer, you know, your body gets acclimated to that. And so when the winter time shows up and it fucking hits like 30 to 40, maybe like 50 degrees, like even 50 degrees is like on the cold side, which is not what I was used to in Washington. You know, like you get 50 or 60 and it's, you know, it's okay, because Washington weather got down to like, you know, the high 20s or the low 30s, you know, and so your body got used to that cold weather. But being out here, since you're always dealing with hot weather or decently warm weather, like right now it's 91 degrees, you know, it's like perfect riding weather. Generally over here in Bullhead though, like the temperature is usually 10 degrees hotter than Kingman. And this is the area I was talking about, I'm coming up to, where a lot of people take their quads and whatnot out here, and maybe I just need to become friends with people who have all these things where I can just ride theirs. So that's one area over here where those big ass dirt mounds are. You see these trails all over the roads, like down here. There's just so many trails, but even down here, it's like dunes. It's not sand, it's like just a hard compacted dirt. But I definitely want to get something and be able to ride over here. This would be so much fun. Even just riding the my coworkers side by side, I was just having so much fun being able to rip around and go fast, like on the dirt roads. Here we go. See, this is the kind of shit that I want to go ride on. Like, this would be fun over here. I'm so tempted to take my bike over there, just If I had knobby tires, I would fucking totally go over here and ride around. But my bike doesn't have the suspension for that, or, you know, the tires for it, which is very unfortunate. I need to just find some people with some dirt bikes or something. There's just trails everywhere. Like, that's so much more fun than just riding down a boring ass fucking street. The only good part about it is that there's nobody here, and that it's just really curvy. I just go fast, but for me, going fast down a road is just, it's fun, but it's only fun for so long.